Now to Omar Al-Saleh, who's live in Baghdad. Tell us more about Maliki's plans and the government offensive underway, Omar.
Well, the Prime Minister was using very tough words to his opponents, where he described as terrorists taking control of several towns and cities in Iraq. He told the commanders in Samarra that thousands of people will be joining you very soon and they will be very well armed. He says we're going to go all the way up to Mosul to clear that city from the terrorists who are trying to inflict sectarian violence in Iraq. Those were the words of the Prime Minister. In separate development in Diyala, in the last hour or so, there's been fighting on the outskirts of Al-Maqdadiyya, heavy fighting between ISIL fighters and other groups with government forces. Now in the capital, Baghdad, there is a growing, the mood here is really one of great fear and a sense of anticipation.
Abdul Wahab Al-Tai is 63 years old and retired. He has 8 grandchildren. He says the security crisis in Iraq caused by the Sunni rebellion makes him nervous.
Our psychological conditions are very bad. We watch the news all the time, and we hear a lot of rumors. We hear fighters progresses and then retreated. I don't know what to do. We feel trapped. We worry about the arbitrary arrests, the displacement. We don't know what our fate will be.
A quick look around on the streets, and not all shops were open, a sign perhaps of people's anxiety. But there were no immediate signs of increased security, and the government is assuring people the capital is safe.
Life in many parts of Baghdad appears to be normal, but there is fear. Many people here are worried that this crisis could renew sectarian violence.
In this marketplace in the Karada district, shoppers were getting on with their daily lives. The violence in the rest of the country has increased the prices of food, some items more than doubled. Many people here say they are not scared by the threats made by members of the radical group, the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, while others worry about the performance of government forces.
This is not the first time that a province has fallen under the hands of ISIL. Nobody knew about it, but the new problem is that there is a betrayal among the forces and officers. Betrayals could lead to the collapse of the state.
Others disagree.
I don't think ISIL will come to Baghdad. It's impossible. They don't have this ability or power, and our forces are strong.
Hopes and fears aside, Iraq is facing its biggest crisis since US forces withdrew in 2011, a crisis that could lead to a civil war.
There hasn't been any political developments from any of the Iraqi leaders here trying to bridge their political differences, because the government, as well as its own critics, agree that the political differences led to those fighting to claim their rights. This is not only ISIL leading the rebellion, it's a bunch of Sunni groups. Those groups are saying we are defending the rights of a marginalized population. Now, when it comes to the fears of a civil war in this country, we've already seen some worrying signs in the capital, Baghdad, and over the last 24 hours, there's been some military parades by hardline Shia fighters. Those are showing off their force. They are adamant that they want to protect the government, the country, and the holy shrines. So the situation is very tense.
All right, thank you for that, Omar Al-Saleh.